Live, the news on NBC 6 South Florida starts now.
Now at 11. From tears in the streets of Venezuela to cheers in South Florida. The reactions run deep to the death of Venezuelan President Hugo Chávez.
Tonight, Team 6 has the range of emotions as we ask, what's next for Venezuela and its people? Good evening to you. I'm Adam Cooperstein.
And I'm Jackie Nesfral. Welcome to this special edition of NBC 6 South Florida. Chávez had battled cancer for months. His last surgery was in December in Cuba.
But now his battle is over. He died at 4:25 this afternoon. These are live pictures tonight from Caracas, Venezuela's capital. People took to the streets there immediately following this afternoon's announcement, but so far it has remained very peaceful.
We have a team of reporters on this story for you tonight, spread across South Florida. We begin in Doral, where you'll find the largest concentration of Venezuelans in this country. Team 6 reporter Gilma Avalos is there live now at El Arepaso. Gilma?
Jackie, Adam, as you can see behind me, families are finally sitting down to enjoy a late dinner with their loved ones, children staying up past their bedtime on a night that their loved ones consider historic. El Arepaso has always been an important meeting point for members of the opposition, but tonight, these people hope to remember it as the place they came to express their hope for Venezuela. Throughout the city of Doral, the sounds of the opposition were heard loud and clear.
7 stars are back, baby. 7 stars.
Yellow, blue, and red stripes draped both cars and bodies as local Venezuelans took to the streets chanting songs of hope. Doral police staying close to make sure the celebrations remained orderly. Hundreds filled both Arepaso restaurants in Doral. It's a spot that native Venezuelans rely on for traditional fare. The hot arepas provide a taste of the country some left for political reasons. A place where members of the opposition gathered to confirm the news.
There have been so many rumors lately that I didn't know if it was true. Then later it was confirmed by the media, so we came to this hot spot here in Doral.
El Arepaso is also where Raul Leoni, son of the former Venezuelan Democratic president by the same name, was sitting when he learned socialist leader Hugo Chávez was dead. Leoni arrived with skepticism, left with hope.
That the people can go freely to vote and express their opinion and choose if they want to live with what we have now, or if they want to live with a better future for them and their children.
As uncertainty still looms over the future of the South American country, the hope for change is reflected in smiles.
She's not smiling, but she's really a little bit happy.
That we're not celebrating the death of Hugo Chávez, we are celebrating the hope that the country has now. So not only do I expect to vote in the upcoming elections, but I hope that that's what we're all celebrating.
And even at this hour, back out live, you can still see a large crowd out here. It's why Doral police continue to be in place. They'll be in place all night long to make sure it continues to be a problem-free night. Live in Doral, Gilma Avalos, NBC 6 South Florida.
It was a similar scene outside El Arepaso on Weston Road tonight. Weston home to another large group of Venezuelans. People sang songs and huddled inside to watch news reports out of Venezuela. These Venezuelans told Team 6 their celebrations are less about Chávez's death and more about their home country's next chapter.
I'm hoping for a new change, for a new beginning, for a new country, for a better future for all the Venezuelans.
He did good things, though. I mean, no everything was bad. But I think right now it's such a mess.
It's time for a change. I have never seen another president in Venezuela in my lifetime. I have 15 years old. It's finally happened, you know. I'm just so relieved.
Now, before the Venezuelan government announced Chávez's death, they began pointing fingers, spinning a web of conspiracy theories about who's to blame for Chávez getting cancer. They also kicked out 2 U.S. diplomats from their country. And Team 6 reporter Steve Litz is live at Miami International Airport, where one of those diplomats arrived on a flight from Venezuela just a few hours ago. Steve?
Adam, good evening. David Delmonico is his name. We were hoping to catch up with him at the airport and talk about the situation in Venezuela, but apparently he was not interested, bypassing reporters. But the Venezuelan nationals we did meet here at the airport tonight had plenty to say. The enemies of Hugo Chávez poisoned him with cancer, leading to his death. That was the wild allegation made early Tuesday by Venezuela's vice president, Nicolás Maduro. Hours later, he announced Chávez had died, but before that, he kicked 2 American diplomats out of the country. Maduro accused Air Force Colonel David Delmonico, an attaché at the American embassy in Venezuela, of spying on the Venezuelan military. Delmonico flew out of Venezuela Tuesday afternoon and was expected to arrive in Miami Tuesday evening.
When we exited Venezuela, we don't know the news.
Caracas resident Dennis Lopez was one of dozens of Venezuelan nationals arriving at Miami International Airport Tuesday night and hearing for the first time that Chávez had died.
We need a change in Venezuela, but I think right now it's not easily. It's not very.
Change is not easy,
yeah,
huh?
That's right.
It's going to be a good thing for the country because, well, it's been proven all over the world that socialism in its purest form doesn't really work because it's usually attached to a lot of corruption.
Daniel Ravai left Venezuela 9 years ago because of the Chávez regime. He hopes to return one day and raise his family there. I asked him if he's happy about Chávez's demise.
It's very hard to get joy out of the death of a person, but this time I get joy out of the death of someone because he destroyed much of my life.
Delmonico and a second diplomat were expelled from Venezuela today, no doubt about it. A lot of eyes on that country in South America wondering what, if any, change will happen there. Reporting live from the airport tonight, I'm Steve Litz, NBC 6 South Florida.
Well, tonight the Cuban community is also reacting to Chávez's death. Images like this, Chávez alongside the Castro brothers, common as they were strong allies.
And we want to take you to Little Havana right now. Team 6 reporter Ari Anzer is live with what was a lively reaction from the Cuban community at Versailles. Ari?
Adam, it's no secret that Hugo Chávez saw Fidel Castro as a role model, so he is almost as despised in the Cuban community as Fidel Castro himself. Now, take a look over here behind me now. You might see a few people here gathered. These are Venezuelans, actually, who have gathered here tonight. But earlier this evening, there were spontaneous eruptions of joy breaking out among Cubans. They celebrate the death of Hugo Chávez because these Cuban activists see so many similarities between the Venezuelan strongman and his mentor, the Cuban dictator. Fidel Castro wannabe.
Exactly. He is a Fidel wannabe. Hopefully, Chávez is in the same place as Muammar Gaddafi, Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein.
The Cuban exile community is hoping the death of Chávez makes the dominoes fall in just the right way to topple the Castro regime and turn Venezuela away from Cuba, Iran, and North Korea and toward the Western democracies instead.
It kind of gives Venezuela some hope and the world some hope.
Declaración del gobierno revolucionario.
On state-run Cuban TV tonight, an announcement. The country was in a period of official mourning. Chávez propped up the Cuban economy with an estimated 100,000 discounted barrels of petroleum a day. Cuban Americans are hoping the new Venezuelan government won't be as generous, and without subsidies, they hope the Castros won't be able to survive.
We don't know at this point, honestly. Hopefully things will get for the better.
Lisette Garcia is Cuban American. Her husband Richard is from Venezuela.
I was very happy that the dictator was gone.
Garcia hopes true democracy rises in Venezuela, but he sees trouble ahead.
I think there's going to be bloodshed spilled on my country within the next days.
That's a very pessimistic outlook.
It is, but unfortunately it's Latin America, and that's the way we do it over there.
Whatever happens in Venezuela, you can bet on one thing, that it will be closely scrutinized by the Cuban American community here. We are live in Little Havana. Ari Anzer, NBC 6, South Florida.
The Venezuelan government announced tonight there will be 7 days of national mourning. A vigil will be held tomorrow, followed by funeral services for Chávez on Thursday and Friday. Schools have been closed for the rest of the week, too. And then what? Well, Team 6 reporter Willard Shepard joins us now with a closer look at what's next for the government and the people of Venezuela. Willard?
Adam, Hugo Chávez worked his way up through the military ranks and used that to gain power 15 years ago. Tonight, experts are telling us they expect this time Venezuela will have a vote. And tonight, we know that that vote will take place within 30 days. The defense minister announcing that the military was deploying forces into the street to ensure citizens' safety and that the country's constitution would be followed. A strong show of force is something experts say will take place in the coming days.
Well, there'll probably be what they call a state of siege in Caracas.
We spoke with residents of Caracas who told us that they did see military and police forces taking up positions at crucial intersections and places like grocery stores to prevent a run on items that are hard to come by. Doral businessman Camilo Perenzino is in the Caracas suburbs now.
Just to prevent any problem, they put military or more police than the normal around the supermarket.
Nicolas Maduro is the vice president who was the member of Chávez's inner circle selected to stand in line to follow Chávez. The former bus driver and foreign minister political experts consider a moderate socialist.
If there is an election which is supposed to take place in a short time, I don't know whether the opposition can get together with one candidate and defeat Maduro.
The vice president Maduro is not a military man, but controls the national police forces.
Very disciplined part of the population which believes that Chávez has done for them what nobody else had ever done.
Now, Maduro will be in charge over the next month. The man who lost to Hugo Chávez a few months ago, Enrique Capriles, could be the most significant challenger to Maduro in the upcoming election. Jackie?
Willard, local leaders are also reacting tonight, including Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, who spoke out just moments ago, calling Chávez's passing an opportunity. Team 6 reporter Justin Finch is live in Pinecrest tonight with more of what she had to say. Justin.
Yeah, Jackie, she arrived home to Pinecrest from D.C. just about an hour ago, and she wasted no time speaking out to us about Chávez's death and his legacy. She says his death is truly just the beginning. She expects more of the same from VP Nicolas Maduro, who is set to take over power. Now, elections are set to be held in Venezuela within the next 30 days, but she says she'll be watching this very closely because shortened elections often favor the incumbent, she says. I did also ask her about pictures coming out of Venezuela in which people are actually mourning and feeling sorry for Chávez's death. And here's what she had to say.
And he died a multimillionaire because he robbed from the Venezuelan people. He robbed them of their riches. He confiscated property illegally. And he died a very wealthy man. And so much for his love for the poor.
And Ros-Lehtinen saying there that Chávez had a history of exploiting the poor and the riches of Venezuela. She hopes now the U.S. can step in and be a part of this transformative moment going on south of Florida here. We are live in Pinecrest tonight. Justin Finch, NBC 6 South Florida.
Reaction to the death of Chávez coming in from all over the world tonight. President Obama released a statement that said, in part, quote, the United States reaffirms its support for the Venezuelan people and its interest in developing a constructive relationship with the Venezuelan government. Meanwhile, Chávez's daughter, Maria Gabriela, tweeted, I don't have words. Eternally, thank you. Strength, we must follow his example. We must continue building our nation, always daddy of mine. Here's another tweet from U.S. Congressman Joe Garcia from Miami. He said, today represents an opportunity for Venezuela to chart a new path, one that includes all voices, civil society, and embraces democracy. And actor Sean Penn, a vocal supporter of Chávez over the years, told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, today the people of the United States lost a friend it never knew it had, and poor people around the world lost a champion. He went on to say, I lost a friend I was blessed to have. And Chávez himself had 4 million Twitter followers. His final post came about 2 weeks ago. It said, quote, I'm still clinging to Christ and trust in my doctors and nurses. Until victory, always, we'll live and we'll win.
Stay with Team 6 on air and online at NBC6.com. As we continue following the death of Venezuelan President Hugo Chávez, we'll bring you any updates throughout this newscast and a full report on NBC 6 South Florida today starting at 5 a.m.
Next on 6, a developing story. Shots fired. 2 people rushed to the hospital. The latest from the scene.
Plus, a couple living in fear in their own home.
My wife, every night, she's scared.
Somebody else is coming.
Tonight, see what the crooks left behind, only on 6.
The longest cold snap of the season is over, but there's another cold front on the way for tomorrow. Find out what it'll do to our temperatures next. Then a dream, now reality for a local celebrity.
We want to fill it up with 10 babies. That's why we need such a big home.
But is her gain South Florida's loss?
And a rival team hates on the Heat's Harlem Shake. You don't want to miss what happens next.
NBC 6 gets you up to speed the second you're up.
This is NBC 6 South Florida.
Helping you plan your day.
Today, that's your forecast.
Delivering information directly to you, no matter where you are. With breaking news, when it happens, as it happens. An experienced team of reporters that are watching out for you. Weather Team 6, keeping you safe, prepared, and ahead of dangerous weather.
You saw it first here on NBC 6.
News never stops, and neither do we. NBC 6 South Florida is everywhere.
Tell Robert.
Injured? Pain? Need help? Call now.
1-855-TELL-ROBERT.
I'm Robert Fensterscheid. If you or a loved one have been injured, are in pain, and need help, tell Robert.
For a free consultation, call the law offices of Robert J. Fensterscheid. 1-855-TELL-ROBERT.
And remember, you can tell Robert anything. 1-855-TELL-ROBERT.
Spokesperson, not an attorney.
Oh, hear that noise I'm making?
Not again.
Oh, what if Doris calls that clueless Cliff guy?
Stop whining.
I've never felt so drained.
Maybe she'll use Sears Home Services instead.
Oh, yeah, they'll repair any major brand no matter where it's from.
Online, she can enter your problem and get an idea of the cost. And the work's guaranteed.
Oh, I feel like new.
Schedule online or call 888-880-1501. Mention TV10 to get 10% off your next service call.
We are back with a developing story out of Liberty City tonight. Police say 2 people were shot during a robbery attempt in the 7000 block of Northwest 15th Avenue. Police say a man shot another man outside of an apartment building and in the hand, and then the victim reached for his gun and shot the crook. Both were taken to Jackson Memorial Hospital. The robber died at the hospital while the victim is recovering.
Now only on 6. This is a look at the aftermath of burglars at work, leaving a family living in fear. They got away with thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and a couple's sense of security. Making matters worse, they're frustrated that a key piece of evidence still hasn't led to an arrest.
Team 6 reporter Christina Hernandez has their story.
Everything was on the floor. They ransacked the whole place.
Andres Amoedo came home to find his house had been broken into.
The room was like a tornado. Everything was upside down. Everything was open. She started screaming.
Andre, myself, because I saw they were inside the house.
These are pictures of the aftermath you'll see only on 6. His bedroom and office a mess. His wife's jewelry gone. The Amoedos say boxes of jewelry were stolen, most with sentimental value that cannot be replaced, totaling $18,000.
They stole my earrings that I wear only one time, and my daughters, when they got married, they cost me around $10,000. It was a blue diamond.
More than 3 months later, no one has been arrested. Miami-Dade police are releasing this video caught by a surveillance camera on Southwest 133rd Avenue. In it, you can see who police believe are 3 white teenagers trying to cover their faces as they walk by. About an hour later, leaving in a dark Nissan Altima. And this is video you'll see only on 6, another neighbor's camera catching the crooks from across the street.
They came through here.
Police believe the thieves made their way in through this back door. Amoedo says they're lucky he wasn't home when they came in because he has a gun and he would have used it.
I would have shot them without any questions, you know. And I don't care if it were young people or older people that would be dead.
Now, cameras are always watching. The Amoedos are afraid every time they leave their home, they don't know what they'll return to. More than anything, they want some kind of closure, an arrest, something that will make them feel comfortable in their own home again. I'm Christina Hernandez, NBC 6 South Florida.
Now, this family says they think these burglars will strike again. So if you know anything that can stop that from happening, call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS.
A cargo ship lost much of its haul just off the coast of South Florida. It was almost like a game of Jenga as workers at Port Everglades spent the day carefully removing containers that tipped over on a barge Monday. The ship was heading from Jacksonville to Guantanamo Bay with 129 containers of supplies on board when it lost 22 of them about 18 miles east of Key Biscayne. Only 4 were recovered. The others were lost.
Nothing of major concern as of yet. We're still trying to determine exactly what the contents of all the containers were. But so far the reports are of compressed oxygen, materials like carbon dioxide.
Most of the containers that made it to port appeared intact, except for one crushed container carrying Miller Lite beer. As for what went wrong, that remains under investigation. Now to live pictures out of Indianapolis, Indiana, where the white stuff continues to fall. You can see the drivers there moving pretty slowly on what we can only imagine are some pretty slick streets. And here's a look at people trying to go about their regular business in Chicago, despite Mother Nature dumping up to 8 inches of snow or more. Illinois and surrounding states are under a winter warning through midnight tonight. And that's why, despite our cold snap, we remain the envy to the nation.
Oh, yeah. Chief Meteorologist John Morales joins us now with our forecast. Hey, John.
Hey, guys, you know, this cold snap we had in South Florida is essentially over. We got into the 70s today, but guess what? There's another cold front headed our way. It's linked to that very same snowstorm you were just showing in the Midwest. Now, let's look at what's going to happen tomorrow as we expect a mostly sunny start to the day, certainly much milder than the past few days, 61 degrees early in the morning. Even a slight chance of showers tomorrow. That's with the cold front that's coming in. And we'll see that towards the midday hours under partly to even mostly cloudy skies. 77 will be the high, then starting to cool down in the evening as the front moves by and brings, of course, cooler temperatures to our region. Right now, pretty mild, 65 Miami, 64 Fort Lauderdale, as well as down in Key West. We do see temperatures much cooler, though, in parts of the southeast, 35 in Nashville, 40 degrees in Atlanta. That cool air behind a cold front that's already entering Florida. You can see here producing showers across portions of the Florida Panhandle. Of course, this linked to that snowstorm that, yes, produced snow in Chicago, produced snow in Indianapolis as well, and now is producing a lot of snow for the Appalachians. From the Blue Ridge Mountains on towards the Smokies, there is some snow tonight flying in that area. We've got more moist air heading our way from the north, displacing the dry air that's been in place for the past several days. So it was sunny today, but we'll see more clouds tomorrow as this front approaches from the northwest. Now, the frontal boundary will be moving towards us as the day progresses. Tonight will remain mild. We've got southerly to southwesterly winds. On Wednesday, the front getting closer, a slight chance of a shower. And then by Wednesday night and Thursday, the cool air moves in, and we'll have cool nights and mild days for the rest of the week. So here's the details of the forecast. Again, tonight, 61 for the overnight low, mainly clear skies, and 61 pretty seasonable for this time of the year. Now, tomorrow, mixture of clouds and sun, 77. Again, slight chance of showers. After the front moves through, though, completely sunny on Thursday, 71 degrees, 50 for the overnight low. So back to the cool temperatures, at least for a couple of nights. There is your extended forecast, folks. This weekend looks great with mild temperature readings and mostly sunny skies. We'll be back right after this.
It began with my big toe. That was my first amputation that I had.
Berger's disease, it's a vascular disease brought on by smoking.
My fingers started to go piece by piece.
First it was my left leg. After my left leg, it was my right leg. And so now I'm a double amputee, all from smoking.
My tip to everyone is, don't believe that this can't happen to you, because it can.
Find 3 ways to quit at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
When I speed on the track, I get one of these. If you speed on the street, you'll get one of these. I'm not a lawyer yet, but if you get a ticket like speeding, suspended license, even DUI, call the lawyers at the Ticket Clinic, a law firm. They guarantee on most civil tickets, no court, no points, and my favorite, no school or your money back. Call the Ticket Clinic, 1-800-CITATION.
New at 11, a dream becomes reality for a Real Housewife star here in South Florida. Lisa Hochstein has been fighting to build her dream home where a historic landmark already sits.
And today, she got what she wanted. Team 6 reporter Diana Gonzalez was there when the final decision was made.
Real Housewives of Miami star Lisa Hochstein listened as the fate of her home on 42 Star Island Drive was debated before the Design Review Board. Preservationists continued to argue the 88-year-old home should be saved, not razed.
I honestly believe that the building can be restored.
William Carey, Assistant Director of Planning and Zoning, said that while the city fully believes the house would qualify as an historic structure,
we believe that it would be ethically inappropriate when a property owner has purchased a piece of property that was not historically designated, has paid all the application fees, has had plans developed.
An engineer hired by the Hochsteins described this structure as unsafe and uninhabitable.
There are numerous elements throughout the building that right now would be subject to imminent collapse.
Both sides bickered before the board for more than an hour and a half.
It's irrelevant. It goes beyond your mandate. It goes beyond what the code requires.
Just answer the question. This is systemic of a much bigger issue that we have here on the beach.
Preservationist Daniel Ciraldo pointed out last year 24 homes built before 1942 were demolished on Miami Beach. Nevertheless, the board did approve the Hochsteins' plan to build a new 14,000 square foot neoclassical mansion.
This is what we wanted, so it's finally over, and now we can start moving forward with our lives. We want to fill it up with 10 babies. That's why we need such a big home.
Preservationists could appeal, but the Hochsteins say they'll keep on fighting until their new home replaces that one. On Miami Beach, Diana Gonzalez, NBC6, South Florida.
Well, the Miami Heat are getting some more haters, but this is not about basketball. It's about joining in on an internet sensation. We all loved it, right? When the Heat joined in on the Harlem Shake, that phenomenon sweeping the nation. But you know what? The Minnesota Timberwolves, they seemed to think it was too much, and they came out with this. Take a look. Okay, now here's what's funny about that. This is an official video from the team. It was posted today, a day after the Heat beat the daylights out of Minnesota on the court, a win that extended Miami's winning streak to a franchise record 15 games. The Heat video, by the way, 32 million views. Their video, 500,000. Just saying.
Does that surprise you? I mean, I can't be subjective about the matter, but come on. You can't compare one thing with the other. The Heat, they were great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's one thing if a fan tries to poke fun at the Heat, but for that team to do it.
The official team website, come on.
The Heat will get the last laugh on that one. Don't you worry.
Of course they will. We'll be right back.
Looking? Are you looking for a fun-filled, rewarding career where style meets success? Then Beauty Schools of America is the place for you. With careers in cosmetology, makeup and skincare, nail technology, massage therapy, barber, and much more. At BSA, you can create your own class schedule, day and evening, at any of our 5 convenient locations. At Beauty Schools of America, discover your new career in the beauty and spa industries. So call now, or better yet, just come in for a campus tour and get started on your new career today. You'll be glad you did.
Passing away today at the age of 58, and we have live pictures right now for you from Caracas, the Venezuelan capital.
Things have quieted down quite a bit in the nation's capital, but there's still much pomp and circumstance coming in the days ahead as Chávez is laid to rest.
And be sure to stay with Team 6 on air and online at NBC6.com. We'll continue to follow the latest on the death of Chávez. We'll bring you all the overnight developments on NBC6 South Florida today. That starts at 5 a.m. and there are sure to be a number of developments in this story as we move closer to the election, which is going to happen within 30 days.
It's interesting that it almost seemed like there was much more of a reaction from the Venezuelan community in South Florida than from the Venezuelan community in Caracas, at least from the angle that we saw.
Yeah, sure seemed that way. Yeah. And we saw it got a lot livelier here in South Florida as the day went on, in Doral and Weston especially. And in Caracas, meanwhile, we just really only we didn't have a ton of pictures from there, but it was very calm, a tense calm, actually, is what I would classify it as.
I also think since not many people were surprised because he had been sick for so long,
Absolutely.
that it, you know, it was something of a normal reaction.
Yeah, just a matter of time.
Exactly. Well, we thank you so much for watching. The Tonight Show is next.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
Tell Robert. Car accident? Tell Robert. Slip and fall? Tell Robert. Motorcycle accident?